Have you ever woken up, poured yourself a cup of coffee, and reached for what you thought was a harmless breakfast? It feels like a comforting start to the day. But what if that routine is quietly harming your health? Mary, 65, thought her morning bagel and cream cheese were a wholesome choice until her doctor explained how it was spiking her blood sugar and draining her energy. If you're over 60, your breakfast choices could be doing more harm than good, impacting your vitality, increasing disease risks, and even making you feel older than your years. The good news? Small, smart changes can turn your mornings into a health boost instead of a health risk. Ready to learn how? Comment below with the city you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe for practical health advice that could transform your golden years. Now, let's uncover the first breakfast food to avoid and explore a healthier, energizing alternative. 1. Sugary cereals, a sweet start that leads to trouble. As we age, mornings often become a cherished ritual, the quiet moment before the day begins. For John, a retired teacher in his 70s, breakfast always included his favorite sugary cereal. It was quick, easy, and brought a hint of nostalgia from his younger years. But what John didn't realize was how that innocent bowl of sweetness was silently working against his health. Sugary cereals are often marketed as wholesome, but they're loaded with refined sugars that create energy spikes followed by sharp crashes. For seniors whose metabolism slows down and whose bodies become more sensitive to sugar, this roller coaster can be especially harmful. High sugar intake in the morning doesn't just leave you tired by mid-morning. It also disrupts blood sugar control, raising the risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. John's doctor noticed the pattern when his energy dipped and his blood sugar levels started creeping into the danger zone. The solution wasn't about giving up breakfast, but about making better choices. Instead of sugary cereals, John started his mornings with unsweetened oatmeal topped with fresh berries and a sprinkle of nuts. It's just as easy, he said, but I feel steady and energized until lunch. Healthy alternatives like oatmeal or even homemade granola let you enjoy a hearty breakfast without the hidden sugar. If you prefer something cool and refreshing, overnight chia pudding with almond milk and a dash of cinnamon is a fantastic option. Taking a moment to rethink your breakfast bowl isn't just a small change. It's a step toward protecting your energy and your health. The first meal of the day should lift you up, not weigh you down. Let's move on to the next breakfast mistake that might surprise you. 2. White bread, a small swap for big health benefits. For Linda, 68, mornings always began with a warm slice of white toast slathered with jam. It was quick, familiar, and reminded her of simpler times. But lately, she had been feeling sluggish and found herself reaching for snacks long before lunch. When her doctor mentioned how white bread spikes blood sugar without offering much nutrition, Linda decided it was time for a change. Switching to whole grain bread transformed her mornings. The fiber in whole grains slowed digestion, keeping her full and steady throughout the day. Instead of jam, Linda started spreading creamy avocado on her toast, adding a sprinkle of salt and a squeeze of lemon for flavor. She loved how satisfying and fresh it tasted, and it became her new favorite breakfast. Some mornings she tried sourdough bread, which is easier to digest and has a unique tangy flavor. Paired with almond butter and banana slices, it became a treat that felt indulgent but was packed with nutrients. It's sweet but natural, Linda shared, and it keeps my energy up without the sugar crash. For more variety, she experimented with toppings like a poached egg on rye bread or hummus with cherry tomatoes and olive oil drizzle. These combinations were not only delicious, but also full of nutrients her body needed to stay healthy and active. Linda realized that she didn't need to give up bread, she just needed better options. By switching to whole grain and sourdough varieties, her mornings became healthier and more satisfying. I didn't just change my breakfast, she said with a smile. I changed how I feel all day. Next, let's uncover the hidden risks in processed meats and discover flavorful, healthier alternatives. 3. Processed meats, a breakfast habit worth rethinking. For years, George, 72, loved starting his mornings with a plate of bacon or sausage alongside his eggs. It reminded him of family breakfasts from his younger days, a comforting ritual he saw no reason to change. But during a routine checkup, his doctor explained how processed meats, with their high sodium and preservatives, were silently increasing his risk of heart disease and other chronic conditions. George knew it was time to make a change, but he didn't want to sacrifice flavor or satisfaction. With his doctor's guidance, he discovered healthier, fresher options that fit seamlessly into his mornings. He swapped bacon for slices of freshly cooked chicken breast, seasoned lightly with herbs and olive oil. "It's amazing how much better it tastes without all the salt," George remarked, noting that he felt lighter and more energetic afterward. On busier days, he turned to hard-boiled eggs, which were simple to prepare ahead of time and packed with protein to keep him full until lunch. Another favorite became smashed avocado, sprinkled with chili flakes on whole grain toast, paired with a side of fresh tomatoes for a burst of flavor and nutrition. For something entirely different, George discovered the joy of hummus, a creamy, plant-based protein, rich in fiber and flavor. He spread it generously on whole grain crackers and added cucumber slices or a handful of olives for variety. Not only did these options satisfy his cravings, but they also reduced the strain on his heart and kidneys, which were sensitive to the sodium in processed meats. After just a few weeks of making these swaps, George noticed he had more energy and even lost a little weight. "I still enjoy the occasional indulgence," he said, "but these healthier choices have become my new go-to." Next, let's explore a breakfast food that often hides more sugar than you'd expect. 4. Flavored yogurts, a hidden sugar bomb. Flavored yogurts are often seen as a healthy breakfast choice, but for those over 60, they can be a deceptive trap. Despite their creamy texture and fruity taste, many are loaded with hidden sugars and artificial ingredients that can wreak havoc on digestion and blood sugar control. These extra sugars cause energy spikes followed by crashes, leaving you feeling tired and hungry shortly after breakfast. Plain Greek yogurt offers a far healthier alternative. It's naturally low in sugar, high in protein, and packed with probiotics to support digestion, a crucial benefit as metabolism slows with age. Pairing it with fresh fruit like blueberries, strawberries, or sliced banana adds natural sweetness without the blood sugar roller coaster. For a touch of indulgence, you can drizzle a small amount of honey or maple syrup over plain yogurt, but the real magic happens when you add nutrient-rich toppings. Chia seeds, for instance, provide fiber and omega-3 fatty acids, helping to improve heart health and digestion. A sprinkle of crushed nuts or homemade granola can also add crunch and flavor, turning your breakfast into a satisfying, wholesome meal. Making the switch from flavored to plain yogurt doesn't mean sacrificing convenience or taste. It's just about choosing ingredients that work for your body, not against it. Preparing a bowl of plain Greek yogurt with fresh toppings takes no more time than opening a pre-packaged yogurt cup, but delivers long-lasting energy and better overall health. By embracing these small changes, you can protect your digestion, stabilize your energy, and enjoy your mornings without worrying about hidden sugars. Up next, we'll examine another breakfast staple that might be sabotaging your health without you even realizing it. 5. Pastries and cakes, a sweet habit to rethink. There's nothing quite like starting the day with a flaky pastry or a slice of cake. For many, it's a comforting ritual tied to family breakfasts or cafe outings. But as tempting as they are, these treats come with hidden risks, especially for those over 60. Packed with sugar and trans fats, pastries and cakes fuel inflammation, lead to weight gain, and increase the risk of chronic illnesses like diabetes and heart disease. For seniors who may already be managing slower metabolisms and joint issues, these sugary indulgences can make mornings feel sluggish rather than energizing. But avoiding pastries doesn't mean giving up on satisfying breakfasts. Whole grain muffins are a fantastic alternative. They're easy to make at home using wholesome ingredients like oats, bananas, and a touch of honey for sweetness. Unlike store-bought options, these muffins are free from unhealthy additives and provide lasting energy thanks to their fiber content. Pair one with a cup of tea or coffee, and you've got a breakfast that feels indulgent without the guilt. Another great option is homemade energy bites. A simple mix of oats, chopped nuts, dried fruit, and a dollop of peanut butter can be rolled into small, satisfying snacks. They're perfect for seniors who want something quick but nourishing to enjoy with their morning routine. For those who miss the comforting warmth of baked goods, consider oatmeal baked with cinnamon, apples, and a sprinkle of walnuts. It offers the same cozy flavors, but with a focus on nutrients that support heart and digestive health. By swapping pastries for these healthier options, you can still enjoy mornings filled with flavor and comfort. Only now, you're fueling your body with what it truly needs. Next, let's explore another breakfast choice that deserves a closer look. 6. Margarine and artificial spreads, a habit worth replacing. For years, Evelyn, 72, started every morning with 2 slices of toast generously spread with margarine. It was quick, convenient, and reminded her of the breakfast she shared with her late husband. But during a recent checkup, her doctor explained how the trans fats in margarine were likely contributing to her rising cholesterol levels. It was a wake-up call, Evelyn said. I didn't realize something so small could have such a big impact. Determined to make a change without giving up her morning toast, Evelyn tried swapping margarine for fresh avocado. She mashed half an avocado with a sprinkle of salt and a squeeze of lemon, spreading it on whole grain bread. It tasted so fresh and creamy, she shared. I didn't miss the margarine at all. Within weeks, her energy improved, and she felt lighter throughout the day. On mornings when she wanted something simpler, Evelyn turned to olive oil. A drizzle over warm toast, topped with sliced tomatoes and a pinch of dried basil, became her new favorite. It reminded me of the bruschetta we had during our anniversary trip to Italy. She smiled. Now, breakfast feels like a little celebration. For a sweeter option, Evelyn discovered natural almond butter. She spread it on toast and added banana slices or a sprinkle of cinnamon for a satisfying and nutritious meal. It became her go-to when she craved something indulgent but still healthy. These swaps not only brought variety to Evelyn's breakfasts, but also helped her cholesterol numbers improve. I never thought such simple changes could make me feel this good, she said. If you're still reaching for margarine, consider trying one of these alternatives. They're easy, flavorful, and a step toward better heart health. Next, let's uncover another breakfast food that might be hiding more risks than you think. 7. Fruit juices, a sweet start that's not so sweet. For many, a glass of fruit juice at breakfast feels like the ultimate healthy choice. It's colorful, refreshing, and seems packed with vitamins. This was certainly the case for Richard, 69, who never missed his morning glass of orange juice. But when his doctor pointed out that his juice habit was contributing to his rising blood sugar levels, Richard was stunned. I thought it was healthy, he said. It's just fruit, right? The truth is, most fruit juices are loaded with natural sugars, but lack the fiber that whole fruits provide. Without fiber to slow the absorption of sugar, juices can cause sharp blood sugar spikes followed by sudden crashes, leaving you tired and hungry. For seniors who are already at a higher risk of developing diabetes, these swings can be especially dangerous. Richard decided to make a change. Instead of reaching for his usual juice, he began starting his mornings with a glass of water infused with fresh lemon slices. Not only did it refresh him, but it also kept him hydrated without the extra sugar. "It's a simple swap," he said, "but it makes me feel so much better throughout the day." When he missed the sweetness of juice, Richard turned to fresh fruits like orange wedges or apple slices. These gave him the natural sweetness he craved, along with fiber to help his digestion and keep his blood sugar steady. He even began experimenting with fruit smoothies made from whole fruits, adding a handful of spinach or some unsweetened almond milk for an extra boost of nutrients. By trading sugary juice for fresh alternatives, Richard felt more energized and even noticed his cravings for sweet snacks fading. These small adjustments not only protect your health, but also make breakfast a brighter, more balanced start to your day. Next, let's explore another breakfast choice that might need rethinking. 8. Instant noodles and packaged breakfasts. A quick fix with long-term costs. When Diane, 66, retired, she often relied on instant noodles or packaged breakfast meals to save time. "They were easy and fast," she said, "and I didn't have to think about what to make." But over time, Diane noticed her energy dipping by mid-morning, and her blood pressure began creeping up. Her doctor pointed out the likely culprits: the high sodium and preservatives in her go-to breakfasts. Instant noodles and packaged meals are packed with salt and chemicals to extend shelf life. While they might seem convenient, these foods can strain the kidneys and contribute to high blood pressure, a serious concern for seniors. The lack of fresh, whole ingredients also means you're missing out on the nutrients your body needs to stay energized and strong. Diane decided to try something new: homemade breakfast bowls. She started with a base of cooked quinoa or brown rice, which she prepared in batches to save time. In the mornings, she'd add some scrambled eggs or grilled chicken for protein and toss in fresh veggies like spinach, cherry tomatoes, or avocado. It didn't take much longer than noodles, Diane shared, and it tasted so much fresher. Some mornings, she opted for oatmeal topped with savory ingredients like a poached egg, sautéed mushrooms, and a drizzle of olive oil. On others, she experimented with whole grain toast topped with hummus and cucumber slices. These breakfasts kept her full, her energy steady, and her heart and kidneys healthier. Diane now feels confident in her choices, knowing she's nourishing her body instead of overloading it with salt and preservatives. "It's not about perfection," she said, "but these small changes make a big difference." If you're reaching for instant noodles or packaged meals, consider swapping them for something homemade and fresh. It's an easy way to start your day with health in mind. Up next, we'll dive into another breakfast food you might want to reconsider. 9. Fried foods, a heavy start to the day. For Mike, 71, nothing compared to the smell of crispy fried hash browns or a golden fried egg in the morning. It was his favorite way to start the day, a hearty, comforting breakfast that reminded him of family weekends long past. But when his cardiologist cautioned him about his cholesterol levels and weight gain, Mike realized his breakfast habit might be doing more harm than good. Fried foods, while delicious, are loaded with unhealthy fats and calories that can weigh you down, not just physically, but also in terms of your health. Over time, these fats can contribute to clogged arteries, increase the risk of heart disease, and make it harder to maintain a healthy weight. For seniors who are more prone to these issues, fried breakfasts can quickly become a silent threat to their well-being. Determined to change, Mike explored healthier ways to enjoy his favorite meals. He discovered the magic of air frying, which allowed him to recreate the crispiness he loved without the excess oil. Air-fried sweet potato wedges, lightly seasoned with paprika and garlic, became a satisfying substitute for hash browns. On other mornings, Mike turned to baked options. He started preparing boiled or baked eggs ahead of time, pairing them with roasted cherry tomatoes and a slice of whole grain toast. The baked eggs provided the protein he needed, while the roasted veggies brought flavor and nutrients without the added fats from frying. For a heartier option, Mike tried baking slices of sweet potato topped with avocado and a sprinkle of chili flakes. "I didn't think anything could replace my fried hash browns," he admitted, "but these are just as satisfying, and I feel so much better after eating them." Swapping fried foods for baked or air-fried alternatives gave Mike the comfort he craved without compromising his health. It's a small change with big benefits, proving that healthier choices can still be flavorful and enjoyable. Your breakfast choices can set the tone for your entire day, especially after 60. Small swaps, like choosing whole grain toast over white bread or fresh fruit instead of sugary juices, can make a huge difference in your energy, health, and overall vitality. These simple changes don't just protect your heart and blood sugar, they can add quality years to your life. Start small. Try swapping just one item on your plate this week and see how much better you feel. Share your favorite healthy breakfast ideas in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more senior-friendly health tips.